Want a house shaped like a piano, a UFO parked in Tennessee, and a cliffside home you enter from the roof have in common? They shouldn't exist, but they do. From Japan's floating tea house to a mansion that literally rotates with the seasons, these structures challenge gravity, logic, and imagination. Get ready to explore the unbelievable in 20 bizarrely designed houses from around the world.
Insane cliffside house. Would you sleep in a house clinging to the side of a cliff? Because someone in Australia thought, yeah, let's do exactly that. This isn't just oceanfront, it's ocean drop. We're talking walls where gravity feels optional. This place laughs in the face of normal. You in? The Cliff House, a design straight out of Modscape Studios' We Do What We Want playbook. Instead of building on land, they thought, why not just slap a house onto a cliff face? And they actually made it work. The structure clings to the rock using the same kind of tech they use for bridges and offshore platforms. This 5-story stunner is basically a modern-day birdhouse for people with nerves of steel. The only way in? Through the top. You enter from above, and boom! You're stepping into a world where your floors are stacked like a vertical sandwich. Living room, kitchen, bedrooms, all with jaw-dropping ocean views. And by jaw-dropping, we mean don't drop your phone out the window kind of views. Your bedroom, it's at the very bottom. So yeah, if you're not down with heights, maybe skip this one. But if you are, you could legit wake up feeling like Poseidon himself. Piano house. Who built a life-size grand piano and just moved in? China did. And not just that, they threw in a massive glass violin for good measure. Piano house in Huainan City, China. A building that straight up looks like it was designed by a music major with zero chill. And honestly, it slaps. Built back in 2007, this wild structure was a collab between local architecture students and the Huainan Fangkai real estate company. The design? Straight fire. The black piano is the main body of the building, while the transparent violin serves as the entrance and stairs. It's like walking into a Beyoncé music video, but real life. At first, it wasn't just about the aesthetic flex. It was meant to help attract attention to the area and serve as a space for music students to rehearse, perform, and study. Talk about learning in style. The place had lights that made it glow at night. Yeah, it was that extra. Either way, it proves one thing. When it comes to bizarre houses, China didn't just play. They brought the whole dang orchestra. Shell house. Alright, tell me this. Who wakes up one day and decides, you know what? I'm gonna build a giant futuristic seashell in the middle of the forest? Apparently, Japanese architect Kotaro Ide did. And boom, we got the shell house, one of the wildest homes hiding out in the woods of Karuizawa, Japan. This place doesn't just look like a shell, it's fully committed to the vibe. We're talking sleek curves, clean lines, and a whole lot of "is this from the future" energy. But don't let the sci-fi vibes fool you. The shell house was designed with nature in mind. It's not just about standing out, it's about blending in with the rhythm of the forest. The whole structure is made of reinforced concrete, curved like a giant spiral that snakes through the trees. It's built on piling, so the forest floor stays untouched, like low-key, eco-friendly, and high-key stylish. Inside, super minimal, very zen. It's got this chill, open layout where the outdoors almost feel like part of the house. You're living inside a sculpture, but somehow it feels cozy. It was originally made as a vacation home. So yeah, someone flexed this hard just for weekend getaways. Must be nice, huh? Sherifi Ha House. This one's wild. It's a house that literally shifts shapes like it's trying to solve itself. Sherifi Ha House in Tehran, Iran. This place doesn't just have windows, it has entire rooms that rotate. It's like a high-end Rubik's Cube with furniture. Designed by the brainiacs at Next Office, this 7-floor beauty looks pretty normal from the street, until it doesn't. The magic happens with 3 motorized boxes that spin out of the facade when the weather's nice. These aren't tiny balconies. They're full-blown rooms that rotate 90 degrees. So why the Spinny house? It's all about that seasonal vibe. In summer, the boxes pop out to soak up sunlight and views. Come winter, they tuck back into the house like shy turtles, keeping things cozy. Smart and stylish, that's a win-win. And the inside? Oh, it's straight luxury. You've got everything from a home gym to a swimming pool to an elevator. It's giving James Bond villain hideout, but make it classy. The real flex? You control all the rotation with the push of a button. No joke. Your house literally moves when you feel like switching it up. Who needs mood lighting when you've got mood rooms? Zoko. Say hey to Zoko, who breaks the rules of physics. A Dutch apartment complex that looks like it's permanently glitching in real life. Located in Amsterdam's Osdorp neighborhood, this place straight up throws the rulebook out the window and then suspends it mid-air. Here's the backstory. Back in the 90s, the city needed to squeeze 100 apartments for seniors onto one tight little plot. Sounds impossible, right? Enter the architectural daredevils at MVRDV who said, bet. Instead of stacking the apartments in boring rows, they straight up hung a bunch of them off the side of the building. Like full-on cantilever style, just floating boxes chilling in the sky. It kinda looks like a Tetris game gone wild. But here's the thing, it works. These boxy add-ons not only gave the residents more space and sunlight, but they also made Zoko one of the most iconic buildings in the Netherlands. Talk about turning a zoning headache into a flex. Inside, the apartments are super bright and functional, designed for ease of access. Outside, it's like a sculpture you can live in. People still walk by and do a double take like, yo, is that thing gonna fall? Zoko may look like it's defying gravity, but this quirky masterpiece is solid as a rock and cool as hell. Takasugian. Ever dreamed of sipping tea in a treehouse? Well, Takasugian takes that daydream and turns it into something totally out there, in the best way. Built in Chino, Japan by architect Teranobu Fujimori, this tiny wooden tea house is perched high on two chestnut trees like it's hiding from reality, or taxes. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't some cutesy backyard playhouse. It's legit architecture with vibes. Takasugian literally means a tea house too high. And yeah, that checks out. To get up there, you climb a freestanding ladder and enter through a trapdoor. No elevators and stairs, just good old tree trunk stilts and a bit of nerve. Once you're up, it's calm city. The inside is super minimal. White plaster walls, a tatami mat floor, and windows looking out over the mountain town. It's meant to feel peaceful and otherworldly, like you're floating above the noise. Fujimori built it on land his family owns, so yeah, this is his personal chill zone. Big, don't call me, I'm off-grid energy. Armo San Colano. Let's talk about a house that's less open concept and more carved into the side of a freaking mountain. Armo San Colano, a literal hermitage built straight into a cliff in Trentino, northern Italy. And no, this isn't Photoshop. It's been chilling up there since the year 1319. This spot isn't just bizarre, it's kinda legendary. Perched 120 meters above the Leno River, the hermitage was home to monks who wanted to live that hardcore, peace and quiet life. You gotta climb a 102-step stone staircase carved into the cliff just to reach it. Talk about earning your view. The building itself blends so smoothly into the mountain, it's basically nature's Airbnb. Inside, there's a tiny chapel, ancient frescoes, and the kind of stillness that hits your soul different. No Wi-Fi, no cappuccino machine. Just you and the echo of your own thoughts. The legend goes that San Colano himself fought off a dragon here. Not even kidding. The spot where the dragon allegedly fell? There's a mark on the rock. Real medieval vibes. Katsky Pillar. Let's get one thing straight. Living off the grid is cool, but this monk took it to a whole new level. Literally. The Katsky Pillar in Georgia, where one man decided that the top of a 130-foot limestone rock was the perfect spot for a spiritual glow-up. Yeah, this thing looks like Mother Nature dropped a giant toothpick in the middle of nowhere, and someone just built a mini church on top of it. For centuries, locals called it the Pillar of Life and didn't dare climb it. Total mystery vibes. But in the 90s, a monk named Maxime was like, you know what? I'm gonna live up there. And boom, he did. He spent years restoring the ancient monastery ruins and turned the top into his solo sanctuary. Just him, a tiny chapel, a few essentials, and a ladder that looks straight up terrifying. Food and supplies, hauled up with a pulley. Guests? Sorry, not unless you're a monk too. It's like the ultimate no FOMO zone. And while it might look like something from a fantasy movie, the Katsky Pillar is 100% real and still active. The monk comes down only a couple times a week. That's commitment, y'all. Paro Taktsang. Hike deep into the mountains, and after hours of climbing, something stops you in your tracks. A monastery clinging to the cliffside like it was daring gravity to say something. That's Paro Taktsang, the Tiger's Nest Monastery in Bhutan. Perched impossibly high above the valley, this place isn't just stunning, it's surreal. The kind of view that makes you forget how tired your legs are and just stand there, wondering how something so bold even exists. Built literally into the side of a 3,000-foot cliff in the Upper Paro Valley, this sacred spot looks like something out of a fantasy movie. But it's been standing strong since 1692, clinging to that rock like, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Legend says Guru Padmasambhava flew to this very cliff on the back of a flying tigress, because of course he did, and meditated there for 3 years. Now it's a major pilgrimage site. To get there, you've got to hike up steep mountain trails, pass waterfalls, fluttering prayer flags, and some seriously intense stairs. But once you reach the top, pure peace. The monastery has multiple temples, caves, and balconies with views that'll leave you shook. Here's the wild part. Every piece was hauled up the mountain by hand, with nothing but steep trails and pure determination to get it done. Hanging houses of Quanka. Homes don't usually flirt with gravity, but the hanging houses of Quanka do it like it's an art form, clinging to the cliffs with a confidence that dares you to blink. Perched on the cliffs above the Huecar River Gorge, these medieval bad boys have been defying gravity since the 15th century. And no, it's not some modern engineering trick. These wooden balconies have been hanging out for over 500 years. Like, who looked at a vertical cliff and said, yeah, perfect spot for a living room? Total savage move. Back in the day, there were a bunch of these cliff clingers, but now only a few remain, mostly restored and still looking fire. The most famous 3? They're now home to a cool restaurant and the Spanish Museum of Abstract Art. So you can vibe with Picasso while teetering over a canyon. Fancy and terrifying? Love that for us. The construction is wild. Thick stone bases fused into the rock, with timber balconies just dangling out into the air like they've got no chill. Honestly, it's giving big don't sneeze near the railing energy. The Pole House. This one's giving beachfront Barbie dream house, but make it extreme. The Pole House in Fairhaven, Australia. And yes, the name says it all. It's a house on a stick, like a whole luxury pad balancing 130 feet above the ground on a single concrete column. Built in the 70s and given a glow-up in 2014, this architectural stunner just casually floats above the Great Ocean Road. You cross a narrow suspended bridge to get inside, and once you do, boom, panoramic views for days. Ocean out one window, sky out the other. It's like living in a cloud, but way chicer. From a distance, it kinda looks like the house is levitating. No walls underneath, no support beams, just one thick pole doing all the heavy lifting. Talk about a core workout inside super sleek, ultra-modern vibes with a whole lot of glass. Minimal furniture, max drama. People actually rent this place for weekend getaways. So, if you're feeling bougie and brave, you can literally sleep in the sky. But if you're afraid of heights, yeah, maybe don't look down while brushing your teeth.
Let's dive in. It's finally time for the open discussion.
Imagine stepping out your front door and looking straight down at clouds beneath your feet. Yeah, people actually live here. These cliff-hanging houses are real homes, balancing dangerously between breathtaking and terrifying. Would you trust your life to architecture suspended on a mountainside? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to mention #OpenDiscussion. Falling water. Waking up to the sound of a waterfall hits different when it's not next door, but because your house is literally built on top of one. That's falling water, baby. Frank Lloyd Wright's iconic flex in rural Pennsylvania that screams, "Why just look at nature when you can live inside it?" Built in 1935, this architectural masterpiece isn't just weird, it's next-level genius. Wright didn't just plop the house near a waterfall, he dropped it over the waterfall. The result? A home that blends into the landscape like it's always been there. It's part house, part sculpture, and all kinds of jaw-dropping. The design uses long, bold concrete terraces that stretch out like diving boards. It's got vibes of floating in midair, but it's all rock solid. Inside, think warm stone floors, massive windows, and that constant soothing sound of rushing water. Forget white noise machines. This place has the real deal built in. The stones used to build the house were pulled straight from the site. It doesn't just sit in nature, it's made of nature. Underground house. Get ready to dive into one of America's most intriguing homes, hidden right beneath the surface. Nestled under Buffalo, Texas, the underground house is a fascinating blend of bunker and retro lounge that's guaranteed to make you do a double take. From the outside, it's just an unassuming grassy hill. But step through the door and prepare to be amazed. Inside, you'll discover a sprawling 1,400 square foot oasis designed to withstand just about anything Mother Nature or the apocalypse could throw at it. Tornadoes? Nuclear blasts? Nosy neighbors? Not a problem. The interior boasts an unexpectedly cozy vibe, with warm wood-paneled walls, plush carpeted floors, a fully equipped kitchen, 2 bedrooms, and even a charming fireplace. Who knew being underground could feel so inviting? But that's not all. This hideaway comes complete with state-of-the-art air filtration, robust water tanks, and backup systems. So when the world goes sideways, you can rest easy, knowing you'll still be binge-watching your favorite shows on Netflix. How's that for a twist on survival? Little Crooked House. The Little Crooked House in Sopot, Poland looks like a building mid-laugh. Wavy walls, warped windows, and zero interest in playing it straight. Total architectural chaos, and somehow it works. Locally known as Krzywy Domek, which literally means crooked house. This architectural fever dream was built in 2004, and it's been bending brains ever since. The walls are wavy, the windows twist, and the roofline looks like it's melting in the summer heat. You'd swear the whole place is dancing. This isn't some theme park gimmick. It's a real building filled with shops, cafes, offices, and even a radio station. So yes, you can grab a latte and reply to emails while chilling inside a house that looks like it's mid-squiggle. The design was inspired by the fairy tale illustrations of Jan Marcin Sanser and Per Dahlberg, which totally explains the storybook gone wild look. It's become one of the most photographed spots in Poland, and yeah, it's giving major selfie energy. Haynes Shoe House. Who remembers that old nursery rhyme about the little old lady who lived in a shoe? Well, turns out it kind of came true. The Haynes Shoe House in York, Pennsylvania is where you can actually spend the night inside a giant boot. And nope, we're not making this up. Constructed in 1948 by Malin Haynes, known as the Shoe Wizard of York, this 25-foot tall, 48-foot long shoe was originally an extraordinary way to advertise his thriving shoe business. And let's be honest, it worked. Inside, it's got 5 levels packed into that sole. There's a living room in the toe, a kitchen in the heel, bedrooms up in the ankle, and even a little ice cream shop on site. It's giving retro roadside attraction energy with a side of childhood fever dream. People actually stayed here for free back in the day as part of Haynes's customer appreciation thing. Helodome. This one looks like a spaceship crash-landed in the French countryside, but turns out it's just a house. A very smart, sun-chasing house. Helodome, a wild, dome-shaped structure in Kostwiller, France that's designed to harness the sun like a boss. This isn't just about style, it's full-on solar science. Created by craftsman Eric Wasser, the Helodome is tilted just right to soak up the sun in winter when you want that cozy warmth, and block it out in summer so it stays nice and cool. Basically, it's nature's version of smart home tech, no Wi-Fi needed. From the outside, it kinda looks like a giant glass and wood helmet that forgot how to sit straight. But inside, super comfy, open, bright, and low-key futuristic without feeling like you're living in a spaceship. Spaceship House. Full alien energy, complete with a mailbox. The Spaceship House in Chattanooga, Tennessee is a UFO-shaped pad casually posted on a hillside, like it just landed for brunch. It won't take off, but the view, absolutely stellar. Built in 1973 by Curtis King, this funky fiberglass dome was inspired by the space-age craze. It's technically called a Futuro house. It's basically a UFO with plumbing. The whole thing's lifted up on stilts, with a staircase that drops down like a spaceship ramp. All it's missing is a beam me up button. Inside, it's giving retro futuristic realness. Think curved walls, built-in furniture, and windows all around. At just over 500 square feet, it's not massive, but it's got major Jetsons energy, and that's what counts. You can actually rent this bad boy on Airbnb. So yeah, your next vacation could involve sleeping inside a spaceship without ever leaving Earth. That's low-key awesome. Abuja Airplane House. Only a true romantic would turn a house into a plane to honor his love. And Syed Jamal did exactly that. The Abuja Airplane House in Nigeria is a full-sized concrete jet parked right in the neighborhood. No engines or runway in sight, just pure architectural heart. Said built the house back in 1999 for his wife, who happens to love traveling. And when we say love, We mean next level. Instead of booking flights, he built her one. A life-size airplane house complete with a cockpit, wings, and a 50-foot wingspan. Located just outside Nigeria's capital, this house isn't just for show. It's fully functional. It's got multiple floors, bedrooms, and even a rooftop terrace inside the tail section. They've got windows. It's not flying anywhere, but it's definitely turning heads. It's become a local landmark. People visit, take selfies, and some even ask for tours. Honestly, it's kind of the GOAT when it comes to statement homes. Flintstone House. It's bizarre, it's brilliant, it's bedrock in the Bay Area. The Flintstone House in Hillsborough doesn't ask for your attention. It demands it, with its blazing orange domes and full-on cartoon weirdness. Is it real, or just a fever dream with a driveway? Built in 1976 by architect William Nicholson, this place ditched the usual bricks and beams for something way more prehistoric. The whole thing was made using shotcrete sprayed over wire mesh and inflated balloons. No straight lines, no sharp corners. Just pure caveman chic. Now fast forward to 2017, when media mogul Florence Fang bought the place and took the theme to a whole new level. Life-size dinosaur statues, a massive Fred Flintstone in the yard, and even a giant mushroom or two. Inside, it's just as extra. Bright colors, curvy walls, and furniture that looks like it came from a prehistoric IKEA. It's weird, it's bold, and it totally leans into the fantasy. Zaha Hadids. If a spaceship and a luxury mansion had a baby in the middle of a Russian forest, you'd get the Capitol Hill residence. Zaha Hadid's one and only private home design. Futuristic, bold, and completely unreal, it looks like it landed just to flex. This futuristic stunner is perched in Barvika, just outside Moscow. And honestly, it looks like it was designed for a Bond villain with a taste for luxury. Most of the house is nestled into the hillside, but then, plot twist, a sleek white tower shoots up through the trees, putting the master bedroom way above ground level. Because apparently, sleeping with a forest canopy view is the new flex. Commissioned by real estate billionaire Vladislav Doronin, this house has major spaceship vibes. Floating staircases, glass walls, curvy everything. It's straight up architectural eye candy. Inside, pure fire. It's got a spa, gym, library, and enough room to host a whole galaxy of guests. Zaha Hadid designed this masterpiece without holding back a single futuristic flourish. It's bold, it's weird, and it's living proof that a dream house doesn't have to look anything like your average Zillow scroll. That's a wrap. If you laughed or learned, smash that like button. Subscribe so you don't miss more mildly genius content. And share this with someone who needs it more than they know.